It is fascinating how we know exactly what to do, and yet sometimes we do the reverse. We let our negative self-talk rule our life and get stuck in our own limiting beliefs. Nathalie P. is the expert with a proven system to reprogram your brain and get you transformational results. Nathalie P., the founder and CEO of Think Yourself Academy, offering leading-edge courses, online training, and events. She is a co-founder of TYA Education, transforming children's inner language to build self-esteem and perseverance. She combines over 10 years of experience in human resources, 25 years of experience in sales, and over 30 years of experience in the fitness industry. In 2007, she was Fitness Instructor of the Year for Canada. She is a dynamic, engaging, and professional speaker, offering conferences, trainings, and keynotes which get you hooked with relatable stories and analogies.
Who wants to use the ring to make money?
Along the past 30 years, she has inspired over 100,000 audience members and empowered thousands of clients internationally. She is on the board of directors of CAPS, the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. Nathalie P. is a master of neuroscience. She uses specific brain reprogramming processes in her practice as a master life coach and executive coach. She has helped thousands of people in Canada, Europe, the United States, and third world countries to get rid of their negative self-talk and to live to their full potential. She is a #1 international best-selling author of 11 books on wellness and empowerment, including 8 international #1 bestsellers. She is also CEO of Think Yourself Publishing, helping entrepreneurs position themselves as experts with a published book. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Somehow, Nathalie can.
What if we were all blunt? What if we constantly just said everything that was on our mind? Okay, picture this. Hi. Oh, you look fat in these jeans. How are you? Oh, you're such a fraud. Hey, what's up? You're starting your own business? Huh, it's never gonna work. You're not good enough. So if these words are not good enough for us to say to other people, why are they good enough for us to hear them in our head? Let me take you back when I started to speak professionally about 10 years ago. I needed a video done. So we had 3 cameras, one for the wide angle, one for the close-up, and one from the back to see the large audience. Now, the problem was there was only 20 people in the room. So we kept asking people to move from one section to another so that when we would put all the segments together, it would look like there was a large audience. Gosh, I remember my very first paid speaking engagement. Wow. So I received a call from an organization wanted me to train their sales force. And they asked for my rate. I didn't have a corporate rate. So I go, 250? So they go, okay, so for 4 hours, that would be 1,000. I meant 250 for the whole thing, right? So I go, yes, that's correct. So we booked a date and I got the contract. Oh, I got the contract. The truth is, when I hung up the phone, I felt like a fraud. I remember sitting in my office that day, hearing this negative self-talk in my head telling me, you're not a real professional speaker. You don't deserve a $1,000 paycheck for an afternoon. See, the video I had made, making the audience look bigger than it was, and the made up corporate rate, none of it was real. I was just trying to look more like than I really was, because I felt like just me was not enough. So why am I telling you this story? Because it has everything to do with confidence. Let's define confidence. There are many different definitions of confidence. This is one of them. It's a feeling of self-assurance arising from our appreciation of our own abilities or our own qualities. So it's trusting that our ability and qualities are enough. So why do we always think that we're not enough? Why do we have this tendency of trying to look like we're more than we are? Why do we doubt ourselves? And where does the confidence go? Like one day we're super confident, and then the next day we don't even want to get out of bed. Research show that 85% of people lack of self-confidence in at least one area of their life. Now, confidence is a feeling inside, and the feeling is initiated by the way we talk to ourselves. Like, who talks to themselves? Am I the only one here? Like, it's embarrassing somewhat, right? Like, you're in your car and then you realize that the truck driver beside you is watching you yapping away out loud in your car. So then you're pretending to be on your phone, and then you're like, oh, I don't have my phone. You can totally see that you're just pretending. We can't even hold our phones anymore. So then you do one of those. You grab the steering wheel and then you look straight ahead, and then you hope that the light will turn green as fast as possible, right? That's embarrassing. But let's bring up not only when our lips are moving and that we are talking. I would like to bring up the internal talking, the internal voice. So, do you know how many thoughts per day we have in our head? We have between 50 and 80,000 thoughts every day. That's an average of 2,700 thoughts per hour, 45 thoughts per minute. We hear things, we store information, we generalize, we distort, we delete, we debate. Yeah, we debate ourselves. How many of you debate ourselves? Sometimes I debate with myself and I lose. I lose the debate. Now, here's the not so good news about our internal thoughts. Research shows that 70% of our thoughts are negative. That's 45,000 negative thoughts in a day. 1,900 negative thoughts per hour, 31 negative thoughts per minute, 31 negative thoughts per minute. We totally trash talk ourselves. Who would want to be your friend if you talk to them the same way you talk to yourself? How does that affect our confidence? The more negative your thoughts, the more likely you won't take the actions that would lead to the life that you actually want. Negative thinking leads to low mood. It creates a perfect environment for low self-esteem to flourish. So it happened to me more than once. It still happens. But let me take you back. About 12 years ago, I was starting to build my business on the side, of course, because I had this negative voice in my head telling me, you got to keep your full-time job. There's no money in this industry. And what, you want to become a professional speaker? Like in English? Ben voyons donc, tu parles même pas anglais. Because I'm French, right? So the voice was telling me, you don't even speak English. And you want to write books in English? Pfft. The truth is, my English was really bad. I remember one day I was teaching yoga back then. And then during the relaxation at the end, I wanted them to relax their body, relax their face, relax their jaw. And I wanted them to put their tongue on the roof of their mouth. So I said, put your thong behind your tits. Yeah, beautiful. Well, in all fairness, the English language is not so easy to learn. Anybody wants to back me up here? Is there anybody here who doesn't speak English as their first language? Anyone? Like, it's not easy. Like, have you ever heard of contronyms? Like, who's heard of I've looked it up. Contronyms is a word that can have two totally opposite meanings. Like when the alarm goes off in the morning, shouldn't it go on? And then when it goes off, you turn it off. Or the word left. When you say she left, she's gone. But if you say she left the book on the table, then the book is not gone. It's still there. Like, how confusing. And now don't get me started on the letter K. Useless. So why am I talking about this? In the multi-ethnic world that we live in, where most business transactions are happening in English, and where a big percentage of people are not speaking English at home, 20% in Canada and 22% in the US, I thought I would bring this up because I know a lot of you can relate to this. Not speaking English very well totally affected my confidence. But the biggest thing that was holding me back was not that I didn't know how to speak English very well. It was my own limiting beliefs. And somehow my English was really bad, and I figured out how to write books in English and how to become a professional speaker. Small town girl here. So if I can do this, so you can. So can you, right? You've heard the saying that your beliefs become your thoughts and your thoughts become your actions. Well, in that case, with my negative self-talk, my limiting belief were becoming my negative self-talk, and my negative self-talk was leading to inaction. It was keeping me stuck. So back to that day sitting in my office feeling like a fraud when I hung up the phone. That's when I realized I needed to find a system to shut down the negative self-talk in my head and start changing the way I talk to myself. So I spent the last decade studying neuroscience and creating a system to reprogram our inner voices differently. That's the system I shared in my 8 international #1 best-selling books. And today I will share with you how to find confidence and clarity so you can make money living from your passion. So I'm going to show you how the brain works, how people use it wrong, and the things you need to do to make it work for you. Okay, so let's talk about the brain. The brain has so many different parts, and I will talk about 2 parts today, the logical mind and the unconscious mind. So starting with the logical mind can process an average of 5 to 9 pieces of information at a time. That's cool. That's why you can have an online meeting while grocery shopping, answering emails, making sure your kid doesn't fall off the cart, keeping yourself from grabbing the stuff in the bakery aisle, and still notice the old guy in the corner checking out the girl in blue in the seafood department. And you do all that at the same time. We multitask all the time. Now, let's say that you're driving to a new address. Okay, music is on, and as you come closer, you slow down and you start looking at the numbers on the houses. Have you ever noticed that you've had to lower the music and the volume on the radio? Anyone? Somehow, as you're driving with the foot on the brake and the foot on the accelerator, you're noticing the red light ahead. There's a kid that's about to cross the street, the lady that will cut you off. There's the weird dude in the car next to you, winking at you, gross. So as you add looking at the numbers on the houses, the music becomes the one too many, right? So 5 to 9 pieces of information is not that great after all. And we've also learned today that 70% of our thoughts are negative. When you live at a logical level, you're always just trying to catch up. You have to work really hard. You're trying to do everything right. So you're plugging away in one direction towards your goal, and you're doing everything right. And you're trying to build your business, right? So you get up early, you do your meditation, you accept clients from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. And you take your kids to school and sport in between your meetings. And you set aside some time to create new material. You have to post on social media. You have to build an online platform. Oh, and you have to start a podcast. And the harder you work, the more exhausted you feel. You have zero life balance, and you still live paycheck to paycheck, and you feel that you're getting further and further away from your dream life. It's like you want to go to New York City, but you are in an aircraft that's flying to California. You can work as hard as you possibly can, but the airplane is so much more powerful and fast that you feel you're never going to get there if you stay in that aircraft. So who wants to get off that plane? No, you should stay on the plane and talk to the pilot and say, hey, bud, mind turning around? Because that's where I want to go. Imagine how fast you're going to get there once the pilot is on board. So I will show you how to talk to your pilot. I call it your personal assistant. So your personal assistant is the other part of the brain I'm very excited about, your unconscious mind. It's your pilot. It can handle over 2.3 million pieces of information every second. 5 to 9 for the logical mind. Unconscious mind, 2.3 million pieces of information every second. That's where their power is. So your personal assistant is inside your head taking notes and making sure that everything that you say or think gets done. But the problem is, people get up in the morning, they look at themselves in the mirror and they say, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to continue to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm so bad with technology. I think I'm gaining weight. So your personal assistant, write it down. Tired, living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, and what else is on this list? Oh yeah, I need to be bad with technology. And what's the last thing that she said? Oh, gaining weight. Perfect. So I got my orders for today. Tired. I know. I'm going to keep her awake all night. She's not going to be able to sleep, and she's going to be really tired in the morning. Check. Paycheck to paycheck. Oh, I know. I can certainly find something to buy on Amazon today. Got this. Check. Bad with technology. Oh, I know. I'll make sure she doesn't see the Zoom link that's right in front of her, or that she forgets to turn the camera on or something like that. Check. Perfect. Gaining weight. Oh, I know. It's an easy one. I can certainly find a chocolate bar or something deep fried for her to eat today. Check. So your personal assistant is your pilot following your request. So anyone can relate with any of these thoughts. You have to be very careful what you tell your personal assistant, because you have to say what you want, not what you don't want. Like if you hire a contractor to paint your kitchen and you say, I would like you to paint my kitchen not blue, the contractor is not going to know what you want. You have to tell your personal assistant what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, close your eyes for a second. Don't worry, you're not going to fall asleep. There's this new functionality now on this virtual platform that activates a sensor. If you fall asleep in front of your screen, a hand will come out of your screen and taser you. So don't worry, it's safe to close your eyes. You're not going to fall asleep. No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead, close your eye. Now, do not visualize Mickey Mouse wearing a yellow tuxedo standing on top of a pink Mercedes-Benz. Do not visualize Mickey Mouse wearing a yellow tuxedo standing on top of a pink Mercedes-Benz. You can reopen your eyes. Did you see him? Of course you did. Even if I said do not visualize Mickey Mouse, because your brain has to process the whole information before it can negate it. Like my one-on-one coaching clients do this to me all the time. They keep telling me what they don't want. I don't want to be stressed anymore. I don't want to be rushing everywhere. I don't want to be impatient with my kids, and I don't want to be broke. So their brain hears stress, rush, impatient, and broke. It's the same when you talk to people around you and you tell them, don't worry, don't give up, don't stress about it. Or when people ask you how you're doing and you say, not bad. Like change your language. Let's just take the example of people repeating to themselves every day that they're overweight. You know what's going to happen if your personal assistant is programmed to believe that you're overweight, programmed to believe that exercise is hard. And let's add to this that no matter if you lose the weight, you'll always gain it back. So let's say you believe all that, it's all on the list, and you start eating well for a while, and you start exercising, and you start enjoying it, because it gives you more energy, and actually healthy food actually tastes pretty good, right? So then your personal assistant goes in panic mode because you're supposed to hate it. So they go, oh my, she's liking it. She's supposed to hate it. And now she's losing all this weight and she's supposed to be overweight. Oh no, I'm not doing my job. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'm going to make her trip on the sidewalk. She's going to hurt herself. She's not going to be able to exercise anymore. And she's going to gain the weight back. And if all fails, I'll make sure she buys a chocolate cake today. Perfect. Check. Did my job. Whew. The bottom line is words do matter. And you need to pick them very carefully if you want to reprogram your own voice inside your head. Because if you've been going the wrong direction for a while and you leave the old itinerary in the GPS, if you keep the same map, your GPS will keep recalculating. Have you ever done that? Now, we need to delete the old address on the GPS. It's easy to press a button on a GPS, but in real life, this process needs to happen at an unconscious level. So you can't really do this yourself at a logical level. It's quite the undertaking to try to do that on your own. That's what I do. I use specific processes of neuroscience with my clients to reprogram their unconscious mind and help them get rid of the old GPS address. It takes time. And it may be daunting to try to reprogram a lifetime of trash talk and a lifetime of limiting beliefs. But here's One thing that I'll teach you today, one thing that you can do right away that will be the foundation of building your confidence. So yes, today I'm going to give you a simple technique that you can use right away to start the process. So here it is. We're going to talk about affirmation. Who's created affirmations before? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but affirmations don't work if you don't believe them. Like when you create affirmations, make sure they feel real. Like when I work with my clients with the Think Yourself Thin program, with people that are highly overweight, it's not going to work to make them stand in front of the mirror and say, I am thin. Or when I work with my Think Yourself Wealthy program, with people that are in deep financial struggle, I can't just make them stand in front of the mirror and say, I am rich. Their brain goes, yeah, right. No, we're not. This is fantasy. I'm not putting that on the board. No way. So there are 2 steps to follow before you can even get to a positive affirmation. So the first step is you need to start by repeating the nasty thought you just heard in the past. Talk about it in the past with the I used to. So immediately catch yourself and say, wait a minute, what did I just say? Let's say you hear yourself say, I'm so bad with technology. So repeat it in the past. I used to be bad with technology. So the brain hears it. And it's true. Yeah, we totally used to be bad with technology. And then it wonders, are we done with this? Why are we talking about this in the past? Do you still want me to put that on the board, or what's the deal here? Immediately, you follow up with step number 2, a progressive statement. So a progressive statement starts with, I am willing to learn, or I'm in the process of. I'm in the process of becoming good with Zoom. So step 1, talk about it in the past. I used to think I was bad with technology. Step 2, progressive statement. I'm willing to learn where it is that I have to click. Give you another example. Let's say you hear yourself say, donuts are my downfall. So immediately catch yourself say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I used to think that donuts were my downfall. Now I'm willing to learn how to live without them. Now, by the way, this is a true story. I used to believe that donuts were my downfall. About 20 years ago, I was part owner in a printing business, and we had 50 employees. So more than once a week, I would stop on my way to work and buy a few dozens of donuts for the staff. I would eat 1 or 2 on my way to work for breakfast. All right, sometimes 3, depending on traffic. No judging here. Who's ever had a donut for breakfast, right? Okay, so I know it's super embarrassing, right? I would get to work and then there were 3 donuts missing from the box. So people would look at me and be like, yeah. So I had to change my strategy. So I would order 3 single donuts on the side so that when I would get to work, nobody would notice that I had been diving in. And then they'd ask, oh, you're not having any? Oh, no, I'm good. How bad is that? This is so bad. I had so much shame about donuts. They were making me feel bad. And it made me realize I needed to do something about it. So I stopped buying the single ones and I was taping the box. Didn't work. You would think that donuts have superpower, you know? They can control you. Like I was driving and then not noticing it, my hand would just go by itself. And then the first thing I would notice is there was 1 bite of donut left in my hand. So I started to put the donuts in the trunk of my car because I thought, well, that's going to work. Now I can't just eat the donut without noticing it. Didn't work. I had to stop on the side of the highway one day on a snow day. And I keep eating my donut by the highway saying, donuts are my downfall. So I kept repeating to my personal assistant that donuts were my downfall. So it was making sure that I would not be able to resist them. It was my own doing. Now, why am I talking about donuts right now? What does it have to do with confidence? It's just a donut. A donut is so innocent, but really, is it? Is it just a small thing? You know, the damage of eating 1 small little donut every day can have on your health, on someone's health. It's the same damage that can be created by repeating a limiting belief in your head every day. Apply this to your confidence. Repeating that you're not good enough is just a small thought. every day, or more like 31 times every minute, this has a huge impact on your confidence. Whether you keep repeating that you are a shopaholic, or whether you keep thinking that you will always live paycheck to paycheck, or that you'll never be able to build your business online, or all of this is all eating away at your confidence. You need to change your language when you talk to yourself. Do you hear that sometimes? I'm not good enough, or chips are my downfall, or I'm such a fraud. Imposter syndrome, anyone? So be prepared with the technique to turn it around. Next time you hear this in your head, right? Now, if you want more tips about confidence, I've prepared a guide for you. It's the confidence guide. You can download the 15 keys to unlock confidence. It's a free guide. So go to thinkyourself.com/confidence guide. So let's recap quickly. This is the first tip, 2-step technique. If you hear yourself say, I'm so stressed out, you immediately repeat, I used to be stressed out. Now I'm in the process of learning how to live a balanced life. Let's talk about another limiting belief that is very current right now for entrepreneurs, busy reinventing themselves during the pandemic. I am bad with technology. Anyone can relate to this? You think you're bad with technology? I'm here to tell you, no, you're not. Who's got one of these dopamine spiking devices? We did not always get used to this, right? You went from this to this to this to this to this, and then all of a sudden there was no more keyboard, and you figured it out. And every time that the iPhone or the phone that you're using is forcing an update on you, all of a sudden you can't find the picture of that you took of your dog wearing sunglasses and a bikini. But eventually you figure it out. It's just a matter of getting to know where to click. You have years of intellectual property, years of experience, tons of knowledge. 84% of the population would not even imagine or dreaming to start their own business. You have ideas, you're creative, you have a message to share with the world. You can seriously help people. You have specific processes that you do, services of products that you offer that people can really benefit from. That dream you have on the back burner, that gift that you have, are you willing to deprive the world from it just because you don't know where to click to put your business online? Learning everything that you know about your craft, that's hard. Knowing where to click, that's easy. So quickly change that limiting belief. If you are here today able to watch this, you can certainly figure out how to use technology to reinvent your business. Now, if you want to learn more about technology, I have a guide of 10 apps that I use that you might like. Go to thinkyourself.com/10apps, and you can download 10 apps and tech tips that I use in my business to save time and money. So continue to use the 2-step technique to change all these limiting beliefs that you have. Remember, talk about it in the past and use progressive statement. Progressive is the key word here. Keep at it, keep progressing, even when you face setbacks. Now imagine for a moment that you're driving home and there's a tree blocking the road. You can't get to your house. Are you going to turn around and say, well, oh no, well, I guess I'll never be able to go home again. That's too bad because I really love my kids and my spouse. I will miss them. Now I have to find a new home and buy all new furnitures. No way. You would go around it. You'd find another route. You'd park the car. You'd walk home. You'd find a chainsaw and cut the tree and get to your home. There's no tree that could get you to abandon your family and your home. Right now, I'm not talking about a tree blocking a road. I'm talking about something a lot more important than your home. I'm talking about you. You have to make you a priority, just as compelling as your home and your family. I know you think your family is more important than anything else, and I can agree on that. But you cannot be there for your kids, your spouse, your clients, if you don't start with yourself. Your dream that you have on the back burner will keep creeping back no matter how often you push it away. It's your passion. You're supposed to do this. It's your purpose for being on this planet. So don't let any obstacle get in the way of you reaching your full potential, your full confidence. Because where there's a will, there's a way. And yes, you can make money living from your passion. Who wants to make money? Well, no, we don't make money as an entrepreneur. Well, let me share something very personal with you. I sold a business when I was in my 20s, and I made the kind of money that I would not have to work very hard for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? 2 years later, where was this money? Gone. That's quite embarrassing. I had a limiting belief that when you make more money, you spend more money, and you always live paycheck to paycheck. And it's only when I changed that limiting belief that I really started to make some serious money. I had to change that limiting belief in my head in order for this to make a difference. Now, if you are not sure on how to manage your money, and you're not good with money in itself, and you want more tips on how to manage money, I have a course called Think Yourself Wealthy. And with it comes this list. It's a checklist. It's free. You can download thinkyourself.com/10 common behaviors. Okay, so go download the guide. It's got the 10 common behaviors of financially confident people. Now, bottom line is, my limiting beliefs were keeping me from making money, and they were eating away at my confidence. And confidence does affect your bank account. People do want to work with people that are confident. Confidence is attractive, it's sexy, it drives business. If you feel confident, it impacts your business. People pay for confidence. All your years of experience and knowledge, you have something that people need. You have the qualifications, the ability, the know-how, the education to provide a solution to their problem. You make people feel good for a living. That's priceless. Think of all the clients you have helped. So don't be afraid of charging people money for what you're worth. And when you say it, how does that sound? Coming out of your mouth. Have you practiced saying it? Like when I increased my one-on-one rate to $250 per hour, I had to get used to the idea of charging that much before I could actually say it out loud without flinching. I also gave myself a raise last year for my keynote. I used to charge $3,500, bumped it up to $5,000. But honestly, I had to practice. True story. I was practicing out loud to say it, that I would charge $5,000. And until I said it often enough that it became to be part of my reality. Because every time I would say that, I would flinch. So be confident about your word. Practice it. Because at the end of the day, I know the impact that I can have on an audience, and it's worth a lot more than $5,000 to any organization when all their staff becomes more confident, and it does affect the bottom line. I know the impact that I have with my one-on-one clients paying me $250 an hour, or my business mentorship clients. I have hundreds of testimonials of people saying how working with me totally propelled their business, and they wouldn't be making money during the pandemic if it wasn't for me. I know the value that I have, and so do you. You too. Think of everybody that you've helped. Think about the value you're bringing. Think about all the clients that you have helped. It was worth a lot more than what you charged them. I am sure of it. Because we are not selling, we are solving. So be confident when you talk about your rate, when you talk about how much you charge. Because we are raised with limiting belief, and that creates this thought process. Our parents told us, oh, you need to work hard for your money. Money doesn't grow on tree. Anybody's heard that? So don't let any limiting belief or lack of self-confidence keep you from making money living your purpose. And yes, you might fall a few times, many times. If you're like me, I've felt so many times, and you will get back up. Do you know any infant that is trying to walk, falling over and over, that ever said, oh, well, that's too hard. That's not for me. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to crawl. No, there's no obstacle that can make you decide to give up on yourself and say, meh, that's not for me. Yes, your life is for you. Meh, doesn't matter. Yes, you matter. You only have one life. Talk to your personal assistant. Use the two-step technique. And if you want to go more in depth in with this and work at an unconscious level to get rid of the old address and the GPS, let's book a virtual coffee. Free 15-minute with me. I'll be happy to have a chat. Go to thinkyourself.com/schedule to book a free 15-minute virtual coffee with me. You can also go download my business guide, the 10 keys to a successful business. Go to thinkyourself.com/business guide. Now, in 2 days, you may only remember 10% of what I said. So please remember to talk to your personal assistant and start building your own confidence, because confidence drives business. It attracts clients. So go out there and make money living from your passion. So thank you, everyone, for investing time in yourself today. You make me feel like a superstar, just paying attention and being so amazing. So I would love to do one of those, everybody gets a car. Wouldn't that be great? Everybody look outside of your driveway right now, because my crew is driving Teslas into your homes right now. No. Well, I can't really do that. I can do something much better. I always say to my clients, I don't give people a fish. I teach them how to fish. So how about I give you a huge discount on my online courses so that you can learn how to be successful and you can buy your own Tesla. Because right now you have a choice. All these notes you've been taking, you can put them on the shelf and then they become shelf help. Or you can implement what you've learned and you can get to the next level. Now, I do understand that the pandemic is not yet over. I understand that not all of you can afford to work one-on-one with me, like Trisha. And I understand that a lot of you cannot afford to purchase online courses right now. So as part of me, I would love to just open up all my courses for free. But see, I teach people how to make money. So it kind of goes against my principle to give my stuff for free. But I will make a deal with you. Because of the pandemic, I will offer you a 65% optional discount. You don't have to use the coupon code, because I know my courses are worth every penny. But if you need the discount right now, I'll give you 65% off. And please use the coupon if you need it, and nobody will know. I'm also giving you a discount on my online coaching certification. If you want to have the discount, if you want to become a coach and do what I do and be a certified coach with the Think Yourself Academy, I'll give you a 30% discount on my coaching certification. Now, I know it's not easy to build a business. It's not easy to follow your creativity and your dream. And I'm willing to pitch in with this optional coupon code. So I've spent money I didn't have. I've made mistakes, and somehow I figured it out. Small town girl here, didn't even speak English. And I'm happy if you can use my courses to skip all my mistake and go straight to what works. So it's my pleasure to be there to support you right now. If you need to rebuild your business, and I know these courses can help you revamp your business and move it to online quickly. So here are some of the course. Of course, the Think Yourself Confident course. The code is RRFF65. This turns out with the 65% discount at $79 US. People like Heather that did this course said that she's learned more about herself than she had learned in years. Think Yourself a Business Pro, the 10-step to a successful business. With the 65% discount, regular price $297 Canadian. People like Martine, who was able to create a funnel with 10 tips and her whole own online course after that course. And then there's Think Yourself Healthy, if you're interested in that. Think Yourself a Relationship Pro, if you are into selling, communication, getting along. I have my coaching certification if you want to become a coach and do what I do and help people at an unconscious level. Like Kristen, who was already a coach, but the forms and all the tools that I gave her in the coaching certification made her so much more comfortable in her coaching practice. Think yourself wealthy. If you want to learn how to manage money, how to create your own self, your own worth and your cash flow sheet and how much money you need to survive and etc. Think yourself a virtual fitness pro. This is specifically for the fitness industry. I have a course that's still in the process. We are working on that one. Build your own website. So if you need a website but you don't have $4,000 for somebody to build it, you can build it yourself without breaking the bank. Okay, so if you want to have a chat with me, there's the backstage fire chat that you can come and meet me after, or you can also book a free virtual coffee with me. So go to thinkyourself.com/schedule. So I'll be happy to have a chat. I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with you. And thank you again for investing time in you today.